Hi everybody. So I'm winding down for the evening and I had been watching some old vlogs to see how I was progressing with my weight loss, and it dawned on me that I really hadn't updated anybody in a few days. So ever since I got out of the hospital, I have still been on the steroids. I took my last dose today, thank God. Hopefully my blood sugars will return to normal soon. And maybe some of this, constant shaking will stop. It's the only way I can describe how I've been feeling is, whenever you are like mowing the lawn with a push mower, the vibrations from it after you've been doing it for 15, 20 minutes, and then you stop to take a break or get a drink or whatever, and then your hands and your whole body still feel like that vibration. That is how I feel all the freaking time, but ramp it up a couple of notches. And apparently, even in my sleep, my hands are shaking. That's what Marty told me. So, just kind of a gauge. My blood sugars normally run around 140, and they've been, since they put me on this medication, they've been like 400, 500, 600s. And I don't take insulin, so I don't have anything that I can do besides drink a ton of water to bring my blood sugars down. My doctor doesn't want to put me on insulin just for like 5 days. So I take metformin and I take a Victoza shot, which is not insulin. It's just basically to help your blood sugars kind of stay even keel under a certain amount. But I do take those too. I guess if I wasn't taking them at all, my blood sugars would probably be so high that my meter wouldn't read it, which has happened once. But anyway, so I was getting prepped for my surgeries coming up in about a month. There's a couple of appointments I have to go to in St. Louis, so I'm getting all the travel set up for that, and uh, I had just made the appointment um, for the anesthesiologist to do like pre-testing before the surgery, which I guess is something that they always do. And I got a phone call from the pulmonologist's office here, and they were telling me the results of my tests, which I already knew what the results were because my helicopter nurse had told me that they found chronic bronchitis in my lower right lung, and then they found something else, but it wasn't cancer in my right upper lobe. So I already knew the results. So I was waiting on those results to make that appointment in St. Louis, just in case something bad happened. And so I got this phone call, and it was, the nurse from the doctor's office, and she was like, is this blibbly bloop? And I said, yes, it is. And she was like, oh, okay, so this is blah, blah, blah from Dr. Coulter's office, and he wants me to schedule you a PET scan. And I was like, oh, what? I don't have a pet. She was like, no, the doctor thinks it's highly likely that you do have cancer. And I literally dropped my shit. I mean, I was like, what? She said, yeah, Dr. Coulter thinks that you more than likely have cancer, so they want to do this PET scan. She said it's like I don't know if you're familiar, but it's kind of like a CAT scan, and they do it with contrast, and basically lie in this thing for an hour. So I'm just waiting to because she said they had to contact the insurance and get it approved. And then hopefully I'll find out Monday or Tuesday when they're going to do this test. For me, the sooner the better. It's kind of like every time I'm like, okay, something really major has happened with my health. And then I'm like, okay, I deal with it and let's move on and get going to the end result, which is surgery in St. Louis. And then so it's like, okay, they suck you in and then you're back out. You're like, okay, it's all good. And then I make an announcement and say, oh, I don't have cancer. And then it's like, well, wait a minute. They suck me back in. And then I'm like, oh, it's all good news. And then they suck me back in again. Oh, Lord Jesus, have mercy on my soul. Oh. It is so overwhelming up in this up in here right now. You know, all I can do is put it in God's hands and pray and pray and pray that I don't have cancer. But if I do, then I will deal with it. Yesterday when I told my family about the phone call, my daughter's staying with us right now until she has the baby. And so my husband, my daughter came in the bedroom. I was sitting right here exactly. And I said, I just need you guys to wrap your arms around me and just hold me. And I didn't tell Marty at first. And then while he was holding me and Sis was holding me too, I was telling them what happened and the phone call and everything. So that sucks ass. I know I don't usually cuss, but I've been kind of, you know, on a wild tangent lately. I try not to as best I can. And as far as my diet goes, I've not been doing very good with it. Yesterday I had half a bag of the fun size Twix. It wasn't a big bag, it was just a little bag, but so it was like I got that bad news and immediately I was like, okay girl, let's sabotage yourself. You lost a little weight, but let's do all this crap. It was kind of like that was the way that I was dealing with the terrible news. And I haven't been sleeping really well. I've only been getting like 3 hours a night. So besides being weak and shaky, I'm also exhausted all the time. But yesterday I had this amazing energy spurt. I was moving furniture in the living room. Of course, I'd have to do a little tiny bit and then stop because I got real weak. Of course, the family wasn't at home at the time, or else I would have gotten my butt kicked for even trying it. I moved the couch, I vacuumed, I straightened things up, changed the light bulbs. And then I was like, well, I just moved the couch back. And Marty was about to give me a little swat on my fanny. And I was like, well, before you do that, let me tell you what all I've been doing since you guys have been, you know, running your errand. And I'd tell him something I did, and then he'd give me this look like, I'm going to kill you. And then my daughter was like, Mom, Mother. And I was like, look, I did it. I'm fine. I mean, I'm not an invalid. I can't just, you know, sit on my butt forever. I'm not going to get any stronger that way. I still want to get back into the gym, but my para-nurse doesn't think that I shouldn't do that just yet. She's like, you got to get stronger before you can start those hard workouts again. And I'm like, hard workouts? I do 10 minutes on the treadmill and then I cool down for 2 minutes. I do the IntelliFit for 10 minutes and the hand bike for 15. And then I do these rope things that's like a rope and a squat and a crunch all at once. But I mean, it's not like I'm, you know, doing like a hard cardio and then heavy weights and everything. But yeah, I really need to get back into writing in my diet journal, watching those calories and those carbs. But I have been drinking lots of water because I was told that will help my blood sugars come down. It flushes out your kidneys and whatnot. But so the one thing that I would like for you to do for me and my family, if you're a prayer, if you're spiritual at all, please pray for me and my family as we're going through this difficult situation. Send me all the good vibes and the good feels and the good thoughts as you can. Send them all my way, because right now I need my whole beautiful community around me. Hold me up and support me while I'm going through this difficult situation. I still haven't told my brothers or my sisters. The only person that knows what's going on besides my doctor and the two other people that live in my house is my dad. And the first thought that came to my mind when I got that phone call is, how am I going to tell my dad that I possibly have cancer with my stepdad? How am I going to tell him that when he just lost his wife, my mother, 2 years ago to cancer? It's like, I am such a chicken shit. I didn't do it. Marty did. My dad and I text a lot because I'm not like a big, let's talk on the phone type of person. I'm more like, let me text you because sometimes I just don't know what to say. I mean, I can sit in front of my computer and talk to you guys all day long, but it gets very uncomfortable very quick when you're talking to your family and you just kind of don't know what to say. Besides, I don't know what to say. So I still have to tell my family. And since I'm not a big YouTuber, or not, see, I can't even talk. I'm not very big on Facebook because I stopped using Facebook a lot because of all the drama. And the drama is from members of my own family. I mean, I love my family with all my heart, and I would do anything. I would die for them. But sometimes, when you have like 300 family members and they're all opinionated, and some go to the left, some go to the right, some, are just, we all have different opinions, and some of the Borlands have very strong opinions and don't know when they should engage that filter on their mouth or on the Facebook. So I don't do a lot of Facebook as much as Marty and my daughter do. But that's just me. The one thing that has really been difficult for me is that I am I'm a worrywart. And so I'm like giving myself a death sentence before I even have this stupid scan. But there's just so much cancer in my family. And I'm 47 years old, So I'm pretty scared about the whole situation. I mean, I was scared just thinking about having my surgery next month. I mean, because I'm scared about getting skinny. I mean, for skinny people, it's like, oh, girl, that doesn't make no sense. But when you've been big most of your life and use that as a defense mechanism and protection, and that's your whole identity is, the big girl, the big tough girl, She's strong. She's the Rock of Gibraltar. She is your go-to whenever anyone has a problem because you can count on her. Just like my mom, I've always been the pillar of strength in my family, and I have yet to figure out how to be strong and weak at the same time. Can you be strong and vulnerable at the same time? See, I don't know. I've never had to be. I've always had to be tough. And so I don't know how to handle anything that's going on right now. My husband's so worried about my mental health right now. He's like, are you okay? How are you doing? How's your depression? How's your anxiety? Everyone keeps on asking me that. And I'm like, it's okay until, I start thinking about everything that's happened in the last week. And then I'm like, I don't even want to deal. I just don't want to deal with it. But anyway, that's my fun little sad story for the evening. So my goal for the next week is a few things. I am going to at least start doing my home exercises that my physical therapist gave me as soon as I find the book they're in. And then I'm going to go get back to my diet logging and journaling and calculating and counting. Because Dr. Eckhouse does want me to be at 1,400 calories, no caffeine, and no soda. So I am still drinking caffeine, and I'm still having soda on the rare, but I do have a diet soda every now and then. So I just need to get back to it and not let like one little thing that could be a huge thing potentially, drive me to distraction. And when I get driven to distraction, I tend to not think about what I'm putting in my mouth. So we're going to get back on that, definitely, for sure. And then I do see my dietitian on Monday. Monday is going to be a super busy day. I've got a doctor's appointment on the other side of town at 1 o'clock to see my primary, and then I have a 3:30 appointment with my dietitian on the other side of town. And since I don't drive, the logistics of this on Monday is going to be interesting, to say the least. Because otherwise I was going to have to cancel that dietitian appointment until the 10th or something. And that's when I'm leaving for St. Louis. Plus, I've got to go to an OB appointment on the 10th. So I'm just going to try to make it all work. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. I love you guys, and I pray for each and every one of you. And whether you need it or not. And just lift me up with those positive thoughts and my family. And until next time, we'll see you in the next vlog. We love you. Bye-bye.